we are doing a special Q&A regarding the Ukraine crisis. I got the laptop here. I'm ready to answer any question that you have. Let's just make sure that everything is working properly. So this is, right now we're broadcasting both on all social platforms. I got India, my girlfriend, in the background. So if you want to comment or something or read questions, feel free. But I just have to really update you. It's really breaking my heart to see what's happening right now in Ukraine, being half Ukrainian, half Russian, born and raised in Israel. First of all, the Jewish community in Ukraine is in fear right now. They don't know what is going to happen with them. They don't know what's the situation. It's really insane that Ukraine is just at the mercy of the Putin dictatorship, pretty much. Putin just moments ago encouraged the Ukrainian military to declare a coup, to go for a coup and overthrow President Zelensky of Ukraine. And I'm getting your questions. Keep writing your comments, your questions. I'm going to answer. I'm reading. That's why I have the laptop. So it's really insane right now. Putin called the Jewish president of Ukraine. He is Jewish, by the way, a Nazi. The Ukrainian leadership, Nazis. Now, this is insane considering the fact that the current president of Ukraine, he is Jewish. So this is just insane. Now, Putin says that it's all about the NATO membership thing, that Ukraine wants to join the NATO membership. Now, this is really a bunch of lies because, first of all, I have to say from a personal perspective, somebody asked me here, I saw somebody ask, what do you think about the NATO thing? I think that it's a hoax because moments ago, before I went live, I got latest report that a Romanian carrying a ship carrying the Romanian flag, a Romanian ship warship was attacked by Russia. Now, Romania is a member of NATO. Romania is a member of NATO. Are we seeing the countries of NATO uniting together to defend Romania? Because Romania's sovereignty was violated today by the Russian thugs. Now, nothing is happening. So on one hand, I don't understand what's this craziness regarding joining the NATO membership because it's not really doing anything. Biden declared that he's sending more troops to Poland, to Romania, to deter Russia. But this is too late, guys. Russia is already in Kiev, the capital city of Ukraine. The Russian thugs are in Ukraine. So what Biden needs to do, if the United States of America want to preserve its superpower, basically, because we are at war between East and West. And now where I'm standing, I do support the United States. I do want the United States to keep being a world superpower. But the only way to keep that is to deter Russia and to deter Putin. So Rafi said, your concern is not about Ukraine, it's about Jews. There are Jews in Ukraine, there are Jews in Russia, but it's really from a human being to a human being. It's been simply a normal person whose heart is broken from seeing people in Ukraine running to bunkers, running to save their lives. It's really insane. But I'm going to keep this live about your questions. I'm not going to talk too much. So let's see, what are your questions? Daniel asked, what is Israel doing? So the situation with Israel is pretty complicated because we do have Russian neighbors on the border with Syria, because Syria is no longer Syria. Syria is has become a Russian military base. So Israel is trying to maneuver between all of this craziness, but I do think that it's more important to stand on the right side of history. So Israel did condemn Russia. Israel does send humanitarian assistance to Ukraine, and it is important that all of us unite against this dictatorship, basically, because it's really a threat to the security of your country as well. Now, we also saw Russia getting support from the Islamic regime in Iran. We also saw the Assad regime in Syria, expressing, expressing support for Russia. Now, for Putin. Now, you do know that when radical dictatorships support you, that's how you know that you're doing something wrong and not something cool. So, anyways, let's see what our Moshe Otero is asking. The current president of Ukraine is Jewish. Yes, he is Jewish. He was an actor, and now he became the president. Uyang Karo asked, who's ready to fight Russia? Are you? Now, obviously, it's fighting a big bear, but there are several ways that the world could counter Russia. Because let's go back to 1935, to World War II, when Hitler invaded Poland, when these horrible battles occurred. Now, think for a minute. If we lived back then, would things look different? I think that it doesn't matter if so. What if China declares war on the United States or on other countries? You would expect your allies to have your back. This is something that's important. Now, there are a lot of ways to counter this. First of all, military threat, cyber, economic sanctions, all of these things. And I have to say, it's not about right or left. It's all of us that should stand united against this. But specifically talking about Biden, he just keeps messing up. He keeps messing up. The UK, I think it was the foreign minister, they asked the United States to add excluding Russia from the SWIFT money transaction system, to exclude Russia from this system, and the Biden administration said no, we don't want that to happen. Now, why not? You need to exclude Russia, and you need because Putin is basically determining his own fate. So it's really crazy to see that Biden is not taking the right action against this. Somebody asked, Adminav asked, what your view on Indian statement? I did not see the Indian statement, so I would love if you could comment that. And let's see. Don't you think America threw Ukraine in the war and left her alone? Talha Anwar asked that. I do want to say that the American people are not the Biden administration. So yes, the Biden administration did throw Ukraine under the bus, and it's just horrifying to see this, because you take Israel, for example. Israel and Iran. Iran, by the way, as we are speaking right now, keeps developing its secret nuclear program. They are closer today more than ever to reaching nuclear weapon. Why are they enriching uranium? Not for peaceful purposes. Why do they need a nuclear facilities under the ground? Not for peaceful purposes. They have declared again and again that they want to destroy Israel. So now the Israeli leadership is saying this. The Israeli people are saying how the Biden administration is throwing Ukraine under the bus. What if Israel would need America's support in countering the Iranian threat at some point? So it's not just about Israel. What about other countries that are allies of the United States? So Biden is basically making the wrong decisions, and it it's upsetting a lot of American people. I am in close touch with American people, and they are. I have American friends, and they tell me, please know that Biden does not represent me. So,
Michelle Edelman has a question. She asks, "Do you think this will lead to World War III?"
well, I do think that what we are seeing now could be the beginning of World War III. I don't want to panic people, but I do hear people saying, "Hey, get more cash. Be ready to because now it's in Ukraine. It could be in Mexico. It could be in the United States. It could be Venezuela rising. Could be everywhere. So this could be the beginning of World War III because it's not a war between Ukraine and Russia. It's a war between East and West. And China is also involved in this. Iran is involved in this. You think that Venezuela is quiet? You think that North Korea is quiet? They are up to something. So be sure that this could escalate very quickly, and that's why I think that NATO is right now it's shameful because a NATO member, Romania, was attacked. Their ship was attacked by Russian military, and they did nothing. So somebody comment, David Konigsberg, you are a Trump supporter. I love Donald Trump. I don't think that I have a reason to be ashamed of that. Nobody should be ashamed of who they love. I have the right to support whoever I want to support. So yes, I do think that he would have been a great leader. I actually really miss Trump and Netanyahu because I think that the two of them could have really handled this situation and actually would have avoided this war. So it's really insane. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing comments. People say, "Let's go, Brandon." So many people say, "We need Trump." We do need Trump. We do need Trump. And I think that actually, I did speak to like liberal, soft left Americans, and they do agree with me that yes, Trump is. They call Trump. Yeah, Trump is crazy. He would have been crazy enough to counter Putin. But yes, when you deal with crazy dictators, you need to be crazy yourself. It doesn't mean that you are crazy, as a human being, but you need to act like that. Yeah. Also, the Pope chose to go to the Russian embassy over the Ukrainian embassy. So Joe Biden is sleeping. Joe Biden is relying on his speechwriters right now to write him good words, good strong words. He doesn't do anything other than that. Why do you? Pratyush Patil is asking, why do you support Ukraine? So I'm based in Israel. My mother was born in Russia. My dad was born in Kiev. So technically, I could be neutral, but I cannot be neutral. I cannot stand idle eye seeing this because Putin is committing war crimes, and I have this big platform. So I have you guys, and I think that together we should voice and have a loud voice, clear voice against what is happening right now, because we have to keep in mind that these world leaders are working for us. All of us together, you elected them, we elected them. So if they think that they can avoid taking action, they are wrong, and we should demand them to take action. Let's see what else. Oh, also, let's see. In North America, we have two clowns. Let's see. If you see any interesting questions, let me know. What would be the next steps if things continue this way? Emmanuel Barantes is asking that. I think that if things continue to escalate, think for a second. You think that Putin would settle for Ukraine? Russia is the biggest country in the world. You think that Putin really needs Ukraine right now? He doesn't need it. It's only for political purposes. He doesn't need more land. And Russians agree with me because they are protesting in St. Petersburg, in Moscow. They are getting arrested. So I think that the next steps would be to take military action. You can't threaten a dictator with handshaking. You need to slap them with an iron fist, punch them with an iron fist.
Sunny Jangiti asked, what is next for Ukraine?
Wow, this is a very... I don't think that anyone knows the question, but I do have to say that I salute the Ukrainian president, Zelensky. He took his suit off and wore military uniform to stand with his troops, stand and fight for the sake of the country. But I think that the future of Ukraine is going to be the future of Europe as well. And as we are talking, also the IAEA reported that after the Russians took over Chernobyl, which Chernobyl has currently a nuclear facility for nuclear waste, and ever since they took over Chernobyl, the radiation numbers are spiking. They're going up. So I don't know what does that mean for Europe. I don't know what does it mean for Ukraine, but it is a fact on the ground. The Russians are trying to deny this, by the way. Let's see. Keep writing your comments. I'm reading. I'm literally in front of your comments. Let's see what else. Hello from Bangladesh. Hello to you too. By the way, it also has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with doing the right thing. Let's see. Also, okay, let's read another question and then I'll tell you something interesting. Raul Day is saying radical Islam is a threat to Jews and Hindus' love from India to Israel. What should we do to counter it? Raul, this is a fantastic question. I think that what we should, it's true that we can't wear Ukrainian uniforms and fight, but we can voice our support for the Ukrainian people, and they truly need this. Their moral was hit hard today as their very own capital city, Kiev, was invaded. So what we should do is be active on social media. Social media is this place where people from all backgrounds are coming and expressing their opinions. And frankly, this is where world leaders are also present and taking their opinions and decisions from social media. So it's a good option for us to stand against this, put our pressure as much as we can. And the interesting thing that I wanted to tell you as we are here, as you are writing your questions, India, you told me, I have my girlfriend here, she's not in the frame, but you told me that you saw people commenting, in regards to this Russian invasion. People were saying that, oh yes, so the same thing that Russia is doing to Ukraine is what Israel does to the Palestinians, and therefore I will support Russia. That does not make any sense. So they are saying that if Russia is being an aggressor, and that's what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, so then they will support Russia. I think that they really don't know what they're talking about, and they are focused on hating Israel more than loving the Palestinians. And honestly, I'm sick and tired of these Palestinian activists trying to push their problems, push their I don't know what, to every conflict worldwide to gain political points from this. And actually, with this current conflict, they're making a severe mistake, a fatal mistake by standing on the wrong side of history. We all remember, this is not a place to make any comparisons, but we all remember when 9/11 occurred, the Palestinians were in the streets dancing and celebrating and handing out candies. So not only they never miss an opportunity to stand on the right side of history and making peace, it's really shameful. Yeah, exactly. Somebody commented, Romanian ship attacked. Will NATO enter now? No. So it only makes me think that NATO is just another joke of an agreement. And I think that most of you guys would agree with me. Arif Hussein is asking, according to you, which side India should take? Obviously, to those of you guys that don't know, India has very close relations with both the United States and Russia and Israel, diplomatic speaking. But I do think that even though Israel, we have diplomatic relations with everyone, still, this is time to stand on the right side of history. It's not time to think about points, because as we are talking, Ukrainian people are being bombarded. So let's see.
I know we already talked about Trump quite a bit, but this is an interesting question. If Trump was president, what could have been his move? By RB, excuse me for the last name, but Sabidong.
What would Trump do?
If Trump was president, what could have been his move?
I think that Trump would have used his very strong character to avoid this and prevent this from occurring. But I tweeted this earlier. I think that we all missed that red button that he was talking about. I think that red button needs to be put into action right now. Yeah. Let's see what else. I'm reading your comments. Some Indian people are commenting. Indian friends are saying that Modi's trying hard to solve the problem. Kudos to Narendra Modi for stepping in and trying to resolve this, because this is going to be the problem of all of us. People are saying, first of all, I do believe that somebody asked Della Moses, asked Ezekiel's war. I do believe that we are at the end times. This could be a sign of the end times. And Gog and Magog war, we don't know, but I do think that one thing I can say, and let me show you this book that I got this. It's the Bible. I got this when I joined the Israel Defense Forces. I fought for my country. I fought in the Israeli army. This book is relevant more than ever. The Bible. If you read this, you can learn a lot about the future and the present as well, because I think that what we are seeing right now could really tell a lot about the end times, how this is going to happen. Dave, I saw a comment. Anthony Huang asked, "What are NATO waiting for?" I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like telling a joke about them, but this is really not a good time to tell jokes. Hi, Hanania. Diban. By the way, if you see questions, feel free to interrupt me. But Diban Biswas is saying, "Hi, Hanania. What are your views? What your views are? Why your views are what?" Okay, let's see. Why does Putin collaborate with Islamic radicals? This is a big question. Also, if you guys don't know, Putin used to hunt down the Chechen people. Basically, he would. There are a lot of different ideas of what Putin did with them, but basically, the Chechen people were Putin's sworn enemy. There is a radical Islamist Chechen terrorist group that they caused a lot of problems for Russia. They were Putin's worst enemy, basically. And now Putin is partnering with them. So all of a sudden, they have a mutual enemy, Ukraine, and he's basically sending them to slaughter Ukrainians. But thankfully, the Ukrainian people are resisting very hard and standing strong. Let's see. Another question. Why not so scared of Russia? I think this is the answer. They are scared of Russia. Let's see. Joe Biden sleeping. Jatin Kumar, I agree with you.
Will Russia and China collaborate to gain control of the world? Question by RB Savidong.
Absolutely. I think that there is a current military coalition that's being formed and very, very developed between Russia, China, and Iran. They, if you don't know, China has recently sent around 5,000 troops to Iran, and I think that this is a threat that the West is sleeping on. They don't think that this is a real threat, but just think to yourself. Look around you. Most of the things that you are seeing are made in China. So China is controlling a lot of this world economically. They are fighting they're fighting a war without firing not one bullet, because they're making countries dependent on them. And when a country is dependent on China economically, they will do everything that China tells them. I don't want to speak against Sri Lankan people, but Sri Lanka is its main port is owned by China. So everything that comes and goes out of Sri Lanka is owned by China, and China owns Sri Lanka because they are doing that, and they offered many African countries. They built the African Union Parliament. So they are making countries dependent on them. And by the way, when they built the African Union, if I'm not wrong, in Addis Ababa, they in Ethiopia, they accidentally planted a lot of microphones in these walls so that they could listen and tap and gather intelligence. I believe that they are gathering a lot of intelligence on everybody and create an algorithm. I don't know. But this will most certainly be used against people at some point.
Several people have asked about Putin's religion or faith, if you know anything about that.
So Putin pretends to be a Christian. Obviously, he's. If you read the Bible does not encourage slaughtering people. So he does pretend to be very close with the Orthodox Church in Russia. Keep in mind that Hitler also pretended to be very close with the Catholic Church that gave him a green light also. So I think that it's more Putin controlling the Orthodox Church in Russia than them controlling him. But yeah, he pretends to be a Christian. And by the way, while he pretends to be Christian, he attacks Christians in Ukraine. So this is a very, very worrying situation. Let's wrap it up. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for joining this special live stream. I am going to keep you updated. Keep in mind that we are at state of war. So I'm going to send you the latest updates regarding the Ukraine war because this is something that's going to affect all of us. I do ask you, whether you're a Muslim, Jew, Christian, atheist, let's unite together. To those of you that believe, please say your prayer for peace. We used to say, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the peace of Kiev. Pray for the peace of Ukraine. And I don't encourage hating Russians. The Russian people are being held hostage in the hands of Putin. They are trying to protest. They are trying to voice against this, and they are being arrested and thrown into prison. And some of them are disappearing as well. So if they're doing this, who are we to not be vocal? So thank you very much. God bless you. Shalom from Israel.